Boom! At the open, our all-time high for the S&P 500.
It's your boy Jimmy.
Now, what's worth doing is worth doing for money.
Straight from y'all street to Wall Street.
Anybody tells you money's the root of all evil, doesn't make up happen.
Dudes wake up, hope their girl turned on so they can get a little bit. Only woman in the morning I wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man looking at this sad like she fine as it. I'm over here looking at tails and whips like 5-6. I left the mayhem for the market. Now I don't want a dope spot, I want to stop it. I know that booty got dry, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for your wop. My V-Wops crossing. Rich with hot V's and pushing hot strategy and plans to make grand. Still in my wife beater, Batman pajamas, house slides, and about 5 hot picks for the day. Cause I like the way the Dow bounce. 4 hot dips on call, so I got options. 2 with a lot of volume, 1 with a double bottle. Now I know dumb money don't understand. Am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my MACD? You see, we different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dog, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, grow with the marijuana. Waking up with the fun, open up some commas. Jump out of bed, big profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, big profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. They used to watch me move them packs and now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Profits. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETFs, making profits. I jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. Light up, watching them candles, profits. While I'm still in my sand, making profits. See, me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. Said today I'm taking a risk. They got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call a short squeeze. You get the drop, pull the trigger, and abort these. If she stay on my watch list, I might have to wife her. But I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Call up the Wolf of Weed Street. It's time to flip some profits. Go ahead, be hawking. Get your spot here. I'll double top that in the head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over. Cause I see John Wicks in contract. If I say I make $1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed. Get split, get delisted, and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. Jump out of bed, make profits. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profits. watching them can't make profits while I'm still in my same big profit. They used to watch me move them packs. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Used to run from the ATF and them cops. Now I run down ETF. Hey, my family. Hey, go, what we doing, my man? Hey, make profit. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing? Hey, make profit. Yo, Wolf, Professor, what we doing? Hey, make profit. That TTG money gang. Hey, make profit. We some snipers.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on, folks? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. My final day out here at the Aria in Las Vegas. Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream, folks. The stock market crash is still continuing, yet another red day, but yet we've still not broken those June lows. It's a battle. It's an absolute battle. It's a war zone at these June lows between the S&P and the NASDAQ, fighting off those June lows, trying to stay above them. Are they going to break? Are we going to bounce from here? We're going to talk about it on this live stream. We're also going to go over some really great lessons on hedging. Welcome. My name is Michael Edward, former award-winning hedge fund trader, now the current head trader at True Trading Group. Folks, I've been doing this for now going on 16 years. I began my career working for a fund in New York City, my first job right out of college. Then 2008 happened, and that was the Great Recession and the stock market crash, but also the same year that I received one of the firm's Trader of the Year awards. And now today, I'm the head trader at True Trading Group, and along with my team of 9 other professional trading moderators and an over 20-person staff, we've helped thousands of traders and investors from all over the world, from all walks of life, learn to trade and profit consistently. TTG is now the fastest growing and highest rated premium online trading educational platform that combines university level trading and investing courses, premium stock market tools, workshops, and mentorship on stocks, options, futures, cryptos for all styles of trading, day trading, swing trading, but also, yes, even long-term investing. We take those university level curriculum and courses, we combine it with today's top financial tools that are worth well over $5,000 a year, but increase your chances of success. We give you access to 10,000 of the TTG family members that are the most educative, supportive, helpful, successful community of traders that are out there. And of course, all of the real-time trade alerts for myself and the other mods at TTG that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% going on in the last now 2 years. We're a family at True Trading Group, folks. We leave no trader behind. If you are new to this YouTube channel, to these streams, welcome. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you smash that like button. Turn on your notifications. I do this 6 days a week. You don't ever want to miss out on these live streams. And of course, let's reach out. Let's educate and empower as many retail traders as we possibly can. I want you guys to go ahead and share this stream on your own social media. Let's educate as many retail traders as we possibly can. So for those that are new and that are just joining us for the first time, welcome all of you. Folks, you got a huge problem. I talked about it a little bit last night on my live stream. So if you guys caught my last night's live stream, we're going to talk about this just a little bit more. We got a huge problem. Before I get into that, I want to say something. One thing about True Trading Group that all of its members know, and that those that are not part of the TTG fam will soon find out, is that we pride ourselves on transparency in True Trading Group, accountability, trust, and we built and continue to earn not only the trust from our own members, but from also non-members that are just subscribers to the True Trading Group YouTube channel. We've got no secret from our members, and many times we actually tend to overshare. I say this because I want you to understand that what I'm about to say to you is a real problem that you all have, and I want you to understand that I'm about to shoot you all straight. I don't sugarcoat anything. I never have, never will. I'm certainly not going to start now. But the problem that you all face right now is twofold. Okay, if you're watching this live stream, you want to learn how to trade and invest in the stock market without being scammed, upsold, or lied to. Generally speaking, finding a resource that can be trusted and help you in any area of your life is not an easy task, but finding a resource that works and can be trusted when it comes to something like the ability to make money is even harder. This is a real problem that causes a lot of people to become exploited, or worse, give up completely on something that could have had a huge positive impact on their life. There's a lot happening in the stock market right now, the economy overall. There's a lot going on, inflation, the Fed. Okay, this brings me to the second part of your problem. There's an opportunity in the stock market right now. Most people will not be able to take advantage of it because of the lack of real trustworthy resources and actionable information. Let me sum this up for you very quickly. This is a real problem. Lack of trustworthy, effective resources during a time of great opportunity. Let's talk about the opportunity so you fully grasp how big of a problem that this really truly is. Because you're all living in a period right now that will be talked about in the history books. Okay, they're going to rewrite the book on economics after this time period of COVID and then the post-COVID era. The only word to describe what's happening right now, honestly, in my opinion, is just unprecedented, because never in history have you really ever experienced a stock market crash with an unemployment rate of 3.7%. Right now, for every one unemployed person, there's roughly about 2 open jobs. And those jobs may not be something that you may want to do or may not pay you what you want, but no problem, because you've got the current gig economy, which has been on fire, created by Uber, Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, TaskRabbit, all of those other Postmates, all of those other gig economy, where people giving them the opportunity to work on their terms and have the flexibility to earn some extra income if they so choose. But the point is that if you look back at every single recession that there has ever been a time wherein this many people have been employed and have had this many options with a labor market that is this tight, okay? And that was created because of COVID. You had a massive imbalance of millions of people that left the labor market, and that's created the tightest labor market that you've seen in 50 years. Yes, the jobs market will soften. It has to. And guess what? That's why this is an opportunity. It's not supposed to last forever. It's not going to last forever. And considering the average unemployment rate from 2000 to 2022, I'm going to shock the hell out of you. The average unemployment rate from 2000 to 2022 is actually 5.83%, and the current unemployment rate is 3.7. I would say that there is a damn good chance that the current jobs market, even when it does soften, acts as a buffer that will prevent us from falling into a very bad, deep recession because of the imbalance in the actual labor market. Now, you combine this with a crashing stock market, and you've got a truly unprecedented opportunity, because I've never in my entire life have I seen the S&P 500 in complete bear market territory, down 23% in 1 year with unemployment at 3.7%. I've never seen that in my entire life. Anyone that's confused, let me simplify this for you with a little stock market 101, right? Buy low, sell high. That's the whole idea. Okay. There's no better time to buy low when the stock market is crashing and things are down 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% on the year. But the problem is that most people are usually, when you have a stock market crash, most people are unemployed, or they don't have the money to invest during times when the stock market has been crashing, and you're seeing the type of discount prices that you're seeing here now. Well, what if I told you that before this unprecedented, because for the first time ever, the stock market's crashing and you most likely have a job and money available to invest. And if you don't, you have more options than ever before to actually gain some extra money that you guys would need or that you would want. This means that you've got a real opportunity to build long-term wealth as the markets are continuing to the downside. And that's just a matter of the fact, because you make your money in bear markets, you just don't realize it at the time. You want to be greedy when others are fearful. And right now, there's not a single person out there that's being greedy right now. Everybody out there is being fearful. Everyone's fearing for the worst. Everyone's expecting the worst. Well, here's one piece of advice that I would give you. It's never as bad as it seems, and it's also never as good as it seems. Keep that in mind. Okay? Keep that in mind. What I would like to actually do here real quick is I want to pull up something for you guys. Okay? This is something that I went through yesterday with you guys, and I want to pull this up here again because I think it's just an amazing example of showing you, okay, how you are able to take advantage of times like this. And even regardless, okay, even regardless of the timing, okay, even regardless of the timing of you guys getting involved in the overall markets, I want to show you something. And I'm going to break this down for you guys. I want to show you something that I have here up on my screen. Okay, what you are looking at right now is a 401k calculator. Now, I've taken away all of the employer matches. Okay, so we're going to say that there is no employee match. I just want to show you what would happen if you were to invest in the S&P 500 every single year. All right, According to what I have here, just using this as an example, we'll take the average salary in the United States of around, call it 55,000. If you were to invest 5% of your salary and you had a salary increase yearly of around 3%, which right now wage growth is actually closer to 6%. Let's say your current age is 35, you plan to retire at 67, but let's say you have absolutely zero money in any type of investments whatsoever. So we're going to start with a balance of zero. The average return on the S&P 500 since inception of 1928 is when the S&P 500 was first formed. The average investment or the average return on investment is 11.8%. Okay, 11.8%. That is the average return of the S&P 500 since inception. Now that factors into everything. That factors in the Great Depression. That factors in the 1980s recessions. That factors in, World War II. That factors in World War I. That factors in the dot-com bubble. That factors in that factors in 2008. Every single stock market crash that you've ever experienced, that number factors all of those things in. And even with all of those stock market crashes, the average return on the S&P 500 per year over time is 11.8%. But let's take day trading completely out of the equation right now. I want to focus on just investing, okay? Because like I said, this is a simple employee savings plan calculator. For this purpose, we're going to use to show you guys investing in the overall stock market using the S&P 500 can help you to build long-term wealth, okay? And if you guys can see here, right up on my screen, as I plug in all those numbers and I plug in what I just went over with you, you will see that after 32 years, if you started at age 35 and you invested 5% of your salary and your salary was 55K and you gained a 3% raise each year and you put 5% of that every single year at an average return of 11.8%, after 32 years, you're going to have yourself a nice little nest egg of over $1 million. $1,093,305 to be exact. That's the power of long-term investing. Again, I'm not even talking about day trading right now. I'm talking about long-term investing at a time when everything is on sale and you have the means to afford an education and participate. There's not many times throughout history where the S&P 500 has gone down 25% in 1 year. It's not many times in history that you've had that. A lot of people are expecting the markets to even go a little bit lower this year and don't think that they're just going to bottom out at 25% this year. That people think that we're going to break those June lows and we're going to continue even a bit lower to the downside. Every single time throughout history, if you've invested in the S&P 500 after it was already down 20% in 1 year, you're up money basically in the next 1, 2, or 3 years tops. Even if you go back to 2008. Okay, and I'll actually show it to you. Even if you go back to 2008, I'll actually pull up my charts and I'm going to put things into perspective for you. Because even if you had horrible timing in 2008, I want to show you guys an example. Here's a weekly chart of the S&P 500, okay, or weekly chart of the SPY. Even if you invested in the SPY, okay, even if you invest in the SPY here and you were completely early, and the stock market completely crashed after the fact, and your timing was absolutely horrendous. It was terrible. You know that even just 1 year later, after 2009, you saw that we actually went up, and you're actually up money just 1 year later. Even if your timing in 2008 was absolutely horrible, even if you caught nowhere near the bottom, you weren't even close. In 2008, the S&P 500 went down about 38%. But what a lot of people don't know is that 2009, in the heart of the Great Recession, while you had unemployment over 9%, did you know the S&P 500 went up about 20% in 2009? Many people don't know that. And that's assuming that you guys had horrible timing if you invested in 2008, well before the markets actually bottoming themselves out. It took an entirety of 1 year after the worst recession that you've ever seen in order for you to actually be up money if you had put your money into the S&P 500 or put your money, in this case, the example that I'm showing you here is the SPY, which is the ETF that tracks the S&P 500. The point that I'm trying to get across to you is that whenever you have situations where the stock market or the S&P 500 specifically we're talking about goes down 20%, 30% in a single year, every single moment throughout history, and I mean everyone, 100% of the time, not 90% of the time or 80% of the time, 100% of the time, if you had invested after you were already down 20 to 30%, it turned out to be a long-term wealth building opportunity and turned out to be just an amazing investment opportunity altogether. Now, in addition to long-term opportunities, and of course, listen, for those naysayers that are out there, yes, of course, investing comes with risk. All right, that's why it's called investing and it's not called guaranteeing. Of course, there's risk involved in the stock market. You can lose money in the stock market. I'm talking about specifically the S&P 500, not talking about some individual stocks or some meme stocks, or I'm talking about the S&P 500 very specifically. Now, in addition to long-term investing opportunities, right now there are as well massive opportunities from the shorter term trading, like day trading, swing trading, whether it's stocks or options. For those that don't know, you can actually make more money, or you can make money rather faster is what I really should say, when actively trading a stock market crash or in a bear market, because stocks go down a lot faster than they go up. I like to say that bulls take the stairs on the way up, bears just take the window. They just jump right out. That's how fast stocks move to the downside. But that movement, that price action, increases volatility, and that's exactly what volatility is. Volatility just simply means, as volatility increases, that means that stocks and the overall markets are making larger moves in any one given day than they would on a normal basis. Now that creates massive trading opportunity for you as an active day trader or swing trader, because the moves that the stocks are making are bigger than normal. You might have an individual stock, maybe normally in a single day, it'll move $3, but in an environment like this, it's moving $7. You might have the SPY in a normal environment moves $3 to $4. In an environment like this, it's moving $8 to $10, because that is what happens when you go into a bear market and there's a stock market crash. Volatility picks up. You get bigger moves to the downside. You get bigger moves to the upside. Some of the biggest moves in market history, go back and watch them, and go back and even look at it yourself. Google it if you have to. The biggest moves in market history tend to occur during bear markets and during crashes. These are the biggest moves to the downside, but also the biggest moves to the upside, because the volatility is what creates that excessive price movement. And as active traders, it creates opportunities for us to pull out larger than normal percentage gains. Now, with those larger than normal percentage gains does also come larger risk, which means you have to understand exactly what it is that you're doing. You've got to imply good, solid risk management, which is something that I'll teach you guys as a member here of True Trading Group. But that's the opportunities that this market presents to you right here, right now, right in front of your face. Right now, you guys can get educated. You can trade this volatility and then use some of that extra money to keep stacking up in your long-term portfolio, thus creating that long-term wealth. Because when the dust settles, as it always does, and it always will, you're going to be left with tremendous buying opportunities and what I believe are going to be the next round of unicorns. What's a unicorn? When you guys are going to gain a 10-bagger on your money, a 1,000% gain or more. That's a unicorn. And over the last decade, you've had people generate massive amounts of wealth in the unicorns of the last 10 years, which were Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet, right? These were the unicorns and the juggernauts that created a tremendous amount of wealth for people that invested in those stocks during, let's say, 2008 or 2009, after those stock prices were depressed to levels where they were down 30, 40, 50, 60, 70% in just a single year. The next wave of unicorns, I think, is upon us. And I think that the next wave of unicorns, the stocks that are going to give you the 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 8,000% gains over the next 10 years are going to come out of this valuation reset that you're seeing happen right now in the markets, because that's exactly what's happening. This is a valuation reset. As interest rates rise, the valuation, the premium that you're willing to pay on risk assets and long duration assets, which are what equities and specifically tech stocks are, they become less valuable. So they need to be revalued. Okay. Instead of trading at, 22 times, they need to be trading at 15 or 16 times. So what you're essentially having happen is some of the greatest companies on planet Earth are just being repriced to fair value. The prices that these stocks were at last year were not fair value. You were paying astronomical prices and valuations for those stocks that was never seen before, nor was it ever sustainable, which is why I told you in September and October of last year that I was selling in my long-term portfolio, because I said there's just no way that these valuations are justified and they're not sustainable. And when you start raising interest rates, all of those stock prices are going to have to come down. That's exactly what is happening so far here this year. But coming out of this, when the dust settles, just like when the dust settled after 2008 and 2009, and mind you, I don't think this is going to be anything near 2008 and 2009, nowhere even close. Okay, you had unemployment go up to like 9.5% after the 08 crash and the housing crisis and the financial crisis into 2009. I don't believe you're going to get anywhere near those unemployment numbers. Matter of fact, the Federal Reserve is anticipating a 4.4% unemployment rate for next year. Now, even if Jerome Powell is wrong, I just told you earlier that the unemployment rate, the average unemployment rate for the last 22 years is like 5.8%. So even if Jerome Powell's wrong, it's not 4.4, even if it's 5, that's still historically pretty damn close to full employment. And it's historically a relatively low unemployment number. So that's why you can't have a very deep, bad, severe, horrible, horrendous recession if you all have jobs. That's not what you saw in 2009. That's not what you saw in the early 80s when Paul Volcker smashed us into a double dip recession in 1980 and 1982 when unemployment skyrocketed up to over 9%. The job market, the labor market, it's just too damn tight. And that is going to act as a buffer to shield the economy from a very bad, deep recession. That's my honest opinion. And I've maintained that opinion all year. You've been following this YouTube channel for a while. You know that all year I've basically been telling you, even you go back to even before the summer of this year, I told you that my expectation is that we will go into a recession, but I believe it will be a mild one. And I still do feel that way here now today, even in the face of all the negativity and all the doom and glooms. I stand by that statement. I stand by that thesis. And if it changes, I'll let you know. But so far, nothing is changing. And even though the market's already down over 20% this year, the unemployment or the labor markets are still extremely tight and strong. And that's a catch-22 because it's, the labor market being so strong, it doesn't help bring down inflation. But as the economy slows going into next year, as interest rates rise and you have to bring down inflation, and you're going to have to slow the economy in order to bring down inflation. That's exactly what the Federal Reserve is trying to do. But that same thing, that same fact, that same aspect of the economy being a strong and tight labor market, which is actually hurting the cause and not helping the cause of bringing down inflation, is, in my opinion, going to be the exact same thing and the exact same aspect of this economy that's going to shield us from a very deep recession. Mild recession, that is what I think that you're going to experience. But that mild recession is going to give you a reset in valuation of what I believe is going to be the next wave of unicorns. I think you're going to be talking about cloud computing, quantum computing, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, the semiconductor space. These are the areas of technology that I believe over the next decade are going to give you Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Alphabet type of returns where you're going to be looking at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000% gains. You're not going to get a 2,500% gain from Apple at this stage, but you can get something like that from maybe a Snowflake, from maybe a Datadog. Okay, these are some of the companies that I just absolutely love for the long term. Snowflake is one of my companies that I just really absolutely love for the long term. And I think that you fast forward 5, 7, 10 years from now, Snowflake is one of the biggest companies out there. And I think it becomes one of the most important companies in the S&P 500 as you go down 5, 7, 10 years from now. It's going to be one of the tech leaders. And I think it's going to be a tech darling, just like you have Apple and Amazon and Alphabet are the tech darlings today. You're going to experience a whole new wave of them. But the people that sit on the sidelines with cash and they stuff it under their mattress because they heard on YouTube that the market was going to go down 80%, you're not going to buy any of those stocks. And just like you didn't buy any of those stocks in 2008 and 2009, and you had to look back and had to listen to your neighbor talk about how they bought Amazon at $40 a share and how they bought Apple at $25 a share, and you had to listen about, man, I freaking hate that guy. Instead, you actually have an opportunity to get yourself involved and stop falling victim to the fear mongering that goes on different social media and different media outlets, because they don't give a damn about giving you actionable, real information that can help you make better decisions. All they care about is getting your attention. They get paid by your clicks. They get paid by your views. They do not get paid by helping you make money. And that's why you're all here. You're on this live stream right here to get the education, the information that you need to develop a skill that can help you make money. You're not here to watch other people make money. You're here to make money. And that's exactly what we do on these live streams. It's exactly what we do inside a True Trading Group. And to prove that to you, I'll show you right now. If you don't believe me, members in True Trading Group, you're a member of TTG. I would like to know right here, right now, today, if you are making money and you are becoming better traders, I want you to type the $ in chat right now. Seriously, just type the $ if you're making money because of True Trading Group's platform. Anyone that's not a member of TTG, my advice to you is just to count, or at least attempt to count, how many people are about to type the $ on this live stream. Because these are your peers. These people are no different from you. They found True Trading Group the same way you did. That's right here, landed on one of these live streams. Whether a friend referred to them, they saw it on social media, or YouTube just flat out suggested it to them. Thank you, YouTube, if that is the case. But that's how they found True Trading Group. No different than you. The same excuses that you have here today. Small account, full-time job, no experience, lost money before, been scammed by some other BS group with a Discord, okay? But yet now here they are telling you that they're making money, they're becoming better traders because of the TTG platform. If they can do it, so can you. Like I said, you have a very serious problem. Lack of a trustworthy resource that can give you the information and the access to tools and resources that can help you actually reach your goals. The other side of that problem is you have a massive opportunity staring you right in the face, like you did in many times in the past, like you did in 2020, was an opportunity staring you right in the face. If you follow my live streams, you know, March and April of 2020, I was screaming at the top of my lungs that I was buying everything that I can get my hands on in that March and April crash of 2020. I told you it was the greatest investment opportunity of my lifetime, aside from 2008, which I didn't have the money in 2008 like I have now. So I wasn't able to take advantage of the 2008 crash, even though, yes, I did receive one of the Trader of the Year awards, but I was in my early 20s. I didn't have the money that I have now. So that COVID crash was the greatest wealth building opportunity of my lifetime. And I believe that anyone that missed that in 2020, as most people did, anybody that missed the sell-off in 2018, like most people did, you're about to get another opportunity. Now that crash just happened overnight, almost in 2020. You went down 36% in literally just 1 month. That's an extremely fast, rapid decline. And just as quickly as it went down, you sneezed and it was right back up to all-time highs. You didn't have that opportunity. It caught a lot of people off guard. This is not catching you off guard. You've been hearing for months and for weeks now about a recession, about a stock market crash. This is not something that's going to catch you off guard, but it's also not an opportunity that's going to be here forever. That's why it's called an opportunity, because it's temporary, but you have to be able to say to yourself, I'm not going to let another opportunity like this pass me by like I have so many times in the past. Stop letting Jim, your neighbor, talk to you about how he went ahead and bought Snowflake at $117. And then when you're talking to him 7 years from now, it's at $850. Don't let it happen. That is the problem that you are faced with here today. But True Trading Group is the solution. TTG exists to empower and educate the retail trader. Our mission is to help people to learn, to trade, and invest for profit consistently. And no, this is not some day trading course where, you know, for you to buy, and I'm not some guru that's here to tell you how you're going to make millions of dollars by using my system and just because you buy some BS course. TTG is a platform that is compiled of 18 university level courses covering everything from stocks and options, day trading, swing trading, long-term investing. We trade futures, crypto, you name it. We do it at TTG. There's something literally for everybody, as it should be. We combine that university level curriculum with today's top financial tools. You see, there are what seems to be an endless amount of people offering courses on how to trade and invest. And even if we have the best courses out there, it is still not enough to make us any different. We needed to take it to the next level at True Trading Group, which is why we built the platform that we did by giving you $5,000 worth of tools from companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, ETNA, Trade Ideas, and more, just for literally joining True Trading Group. $5,000, it might not be a lot of money for the professional trader at Goldman Sachs, but it's a hell of a lot of money for the average retail trader that's just trying to find their way and trying to make better decisions for them and their family. We give you the tools that you would end up needing to pay for on your own as part of your annual membership to True Trading Group, included for free included with your membership. We spent years building relationships with those companies, and negotiated with them to offer their products on our platform so that you do not have to pay for them. That is how we empower and educate the retail trader, by giving you not just the same level of education that I received working at a fund on Wall Street, but also giving you access to the tools and resources that successful traders use that help them make better decisions. It's not enough for you to just put $1,000 in a Robinhood account and go see what Mambo Jam's Kitty Cat tells you to buy on Reddit. Not a good strategy. Not one that's doing wonders for you here this year. There's no upsells at True Trading Group for courses or tools. When you sign up for an annual TTG membership, you get immediate and full access to all of our courses, all of our tools, and any new course and tools that we add down the road during your annual membership, you get it included for free. There's no upsells for tools. There's no upsells for courses. You pay your annual membership fee and you get to work without needing to spend more money to get the courses and the tools. Our all-inclusive business model, okay, in and of itself is an opportunity, is in industry rather, filled with BS upsells. Like you join some program for $1,000 or for $500, and all of a sudden you're like, hey, I don't understand anything. And they're like, oh, well, you're not successful. Oh, you're not successful. That's because you didn't join our VIP program. Oh, well, what's the VIP program? The VIP program is another $1,500. You're like, well, what the hell? What did I just pay $1,000 for? That's not how we do things here in True Trading Group. Our course, of course, our daily chat room, okay, you're going to get access to, like I said, all the courses, all the tools. And of course, you're going to get access to our daily chat room, where myself, 9 other professional trading mods cover all styles of trading, and our community of thousands of like-minded traders and investors. We're now nearly 10,000 members in the TTG family who are going to lift you up when you succeed. They're going to rally behind you when you fail or when you fall short, and they're going to support you every single step of the way. And yes, while we encourage you to learn how to trade and not just follow alerts, we do give you all of the alerts that the moderators make on stocks, options, day trading, swing trading. Every day in True Trading Group, we trade stocks, we trade options, we day trade, and we swing trade. To myself and the 9 other moderators that are part of the TTG family. And don't forget, we've been able to maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% for going on the last 2 years now. But that's the problem that you face here today, and I have the solution for you. Tonight's live stream is going to go down as follows. We have a very special guest that's going to come on here on this live stream. Okay, I'm going to bring on my business partner and co-founder, Adam. He's going to come on. He's going to help me kind of go through this and introduce you guys to a very special guest. Okay, we're going to be bringing on a lifetime member who's been with True Trading Group for a couple of years and is going to share his experience and his trading journey that he's had so far here with True Trading Group. I think it's something that a lot of people can relate to. And I think it's something that, especially during a time like this, that a lot of people should hear and a lot of people should listen to. Then after we're finished with that, I'm going to be breaking down my trade today on Meta and my trade today on the SPY. I'm going to be giving you a lesson on how to hedge trade. We're going to go over some hedge trading strategies, which is what I did today. Okay, I did go after some SPY call options early in the morning. I was able to take a little piece of profit off the table, but ended up stopping out of the rest of my position for a net negative trade on the SPY calls. But I hedged that position with a short on Meta, and that turned out to be an absolute home run. Members that followed me on that trade were able to pull like 40 to 50% gains out on put options on Meta while we were short Meta as a hedge against the SPY call, and finished the day actually in the green thanks to the hedge strategy. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how to hedge and how to use hedging to identify and to take advantage and profit during a stock market crash, which is exactly what we were able to do today inside of the TTG chat room. And then after that, I'm going to open things up towards the end to an open blanket Q&A session. I'm going to allow you guys to ask me questions, whatever's on your mind, individual stocks, the overall market, trading in general, the psychology of trading, whatever it is. I'll let you guys ask me questions, because at the end of the day, asking questions is how you learn. That's why you're here, right? To learn. So you can ask me questions, whatever's on your mind. Don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. There's no such thing as a stupid question. So we'll open that up towards the end of the live stream. First, I got to welcome Jackson, though. Jackson, welcome, guys. We started this live stream with 10. We started this live stream here with 10 laptops. Now we are down to 9. That is all that we have available here for tonight. This means that there are just 9 laptops left for anyone that goes to ttgoffer.com, manually enters the coupon code TTG121, clicks apply code. You're going to get a brand new free laptop. It's going to either be an Asus, HP, Acer, Dell, or Lenovo laptop. Tonight at midnight, the price will be moving up to $1,350. We cannot guarantee you that we will have more of these laptops here moving forward. We were only able to secure 10. Jackson grabbed 1. That means we're down to 9. So tonight's going to be the last night that you guys can go to ttgoffer.com. Okay. All right, you guys can go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code, and that will drop you down a 40% discount from the regular price of $2,212. It drops it down to just $1,307 here this evening. And then after midnight tonight, it is moving to $1,350. Do not continue to let the price of this membership climb. Tonight's going to be the last night, like I said, guys, for that 40% discount and that $1,307 price point. You just have to go to ttgoffer.com and enter the coupon code TTG121. Again, this is going to be the last night for the sale before the price will be moved to $1,350, and we will continue to move it up from there. No, you do not need to enter your address in order to claim your free laptop. Once you sign up, you will get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that free laptop. Okay, so again, go to ttgoffer.com, enter the coupon code TTG121, click apply code, and the price will drop from $22.12 all the way down to $13.07. TTG is the Netflix of trading communities, guys. You pay one price up front for the whole year. You get immediate access to all of our courses and all of our tools, which are included with no upsells. You get the entire 18-course curriculum. Joe, why don't you post up the syllabus in chat for everybody? You guys can click on a link we're going to post in chat. You can see for yourself all of the courses that you're going to be getting access to as a member of True Trading Group and everything that you're going to learn. You're also going to get included with it $5,000 worth of premium tools from companies like Benzinga, TradingView, Quote Media, and so much more, all included on the dashboard. You've got all of our trade alerts for myself and the 9 other pro trading mods that have been able to maintain a cumulative win rate of just around 80% for going on the last 2 years. And of course, access to the best damn community of nearly 10,000 TTG members that genuinely give a damn whether you succeed or fail. And of course, also anyone that joins this evening, you will also be getting our double your money back guarantee, which I don't think you're going to need, but it's there to give you peace of mind. I did not stutter. Your internet connection is perfectly fine. You will be getting a double your money back guarantee when you join True Trading Group. Now, I don't think that you're going to need it. Okay, I don't think that you're going to need it, but it's there to give you peace of mind. It's actually quite simple. You got 12 months. I'm not saying you have to do all this in 30 days. You have 12 months. The entire length of your membership, your money back guarantee is good for. Not just 30 days, not just 14 days. The entire year of your membership. You just have to go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend one study group. Do those 3 things, and if you fail to make back that $13.07 price point at least once during your membership, I'll give you double your money. That's $2,614. That's the deal. More on that in a bit, folks. But again, our track record speaks for itself. I have no problem offering you double your money back because we've only had to refund roughly 2.6% of our members since 2016. We also have a retention rate of 78%. 78% of our members are renewing their annual membership. And last but certainly not least, we're 5-star rated on Trustpilot with over 1,750 reviews. So based on what members tell us, the reviews they leave, our retention rate, our refund rate, I can very confidently tell you that TTG has worked for thousands of people. And if you're willing to put forth a little bit of effort, I think there's a good chance it can work for you as well. Everything that you get with your TTG membership, it's on the TTG membership. It's on the checkout page. All the courses, all the tools for just $13.07. You never charge another dollar for the courses and tools. Again, ttgoffer.com, enter the code TTG121. The price will say $13.07. Just simply check out. You had 9 laptops here available this evening before the price moves to $13.50. Listen to me carefully. Also, if you are currently a trial member, were previously a trial member, or previously an annual member, if you guys want this $13.07 price point, do not go to ttgoffer.com. Rather, we need to white label your email address. So you need to send a text message instead to 786-505-4049. Again, that phone number is 786-505-4049. It's right there at the bottom of your screen. Don't call that number, text it. It's a text message only phone number. Okay, it's a text message only phone number. I really don't need the laptop and trying to contact Adam or Lucci. I'm a trial. Can I save more if I don't need the laptop? If you guys do not want the laptop, yeah, okay. Listen, if you guys don't want the laptop, just send a text message to 786-505-4049. So if you guys would rather, You can either pay $13.07 and get yourself a brand new free laptop. If you don't want the free laptop and instead you'd rather have a cheaper price, just send a text message to 786-505-4049. Again, that phone number that was at the bottom of your screen, we'll probably throw it up here one more time. If you don't want the laptop, instead you'd rather have a cheaper price, then just send a text message to 786-505-4049. We'll throw that phone number back up on the screen so that you guys can just jot that number down. And like I said, don't hesitate. Send a text message to that number. Do not call. Send a text to that phone number. As long as you guys see a laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know that you're going to be getting one. Okay, so again, just go to ttgoffer.com. You see a laptop, you type in TTG121, click apply code. Price will drop to $13.07. You check out. You don't have to enter your address. You get a welcome email with instructions how to claim the free laptop. You're good to go. We ship anywhere in the world. We cover the shipping costs. As long as you live on planet Earth, we'll ship you a laptop. Doesn't matter where you are. We have members all over the globe. And if you don't want Brad, I think the person's name was Brad Priest, I think their name was. If you don't want the laptop and you'd rather just have a cheaper price, you don't want the laptop, fine. Send a text message to 786-505-4049, and we'll get you guys hooked up and taken care of. Sorry about the quick little early sales pitch, but I did want to make sure that everybody knew, okay, because the price is going to move up to $13.50 here tomorrow. And I want to make sure you guys have a very fair chance of everyone that wants and take advantage of the opportunity that is in front of your face here right now can do so. All right, folks. So good stuff. All right, guys, we're going to move on here. We're going to roll on into the next part of this live stream. In order to do so, I'm going to bring on my business partner and co-founder, the man behind the curtain, the man that makes this platform tick for all of you. Everybody, big shout out to Adam.
What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's up? I feel terrible. We've left KBL back there for 46 minutes. I told him it would be like 10 minutes. So, all right, let's get this party started. We're gonna be bringing on a member right now that I think that a lot of people will be able to relate to, and it kind of almost perfectly falls in line with exactly what it is that Mike has been saying on here for quite some time. So I'm gonna let him kind of tell his story. He's been a member for a couple years. I'd like for you guys to please meet lifetime member, Mr. KBL. What's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you guys?
I am so sorry for leaving you back there.
No worries. I was going to listen to it anyway, so it doesn't
matter.
Nice.
KBL, what's up, KBL? I appreciate you coming on here, man. I'm excited for you to share your story with all the viewers. Thanks for coming on.
It's my pleasure.
So I guess let's start at the beginning. Walk me through a little bit. I know that we had spoke earlier, but walk me through a little bit kind of how you got into trading and how you found True Trading Group. Let's start there.
Okay. Well, first of all, in terms of trading itself, I actually grew up with fundamental analysis, kind of the Peter Lynch model. It was all about whether companies were making money, how much good management they had, what was their product. It was all about the fundamentals. Slowly over time, after a lot of trips to the library to check out the Value Line Investment Survey and read Investors Business Daily and Wall Street Journal, I started hearing about this technical analysis, but I struggled with it because to me, it just didn't make a lot of sense that technical analysis would actually be something that I could use to measure where the prices were going to go. I was more interested in what the products were. But over time, I did switch over to technical analysis. I went back and forth with success on it, sometimes very successful, other times not so much, and it got a little frustrating. Then several years ago, a friend of mine sent me a link to your live stream and suggested that I listen to it. I listened. I tried the 3-day trial the very next day, and I think by the following week I joined, and then a week or so after that, I ended up joining as a lifetime member. And quite honestly, I've never looked back. It's been one of the better decisions I've ever made.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Did you guys all hear Satan just now? Speaking on that. I have no idea. All right. So that's, I mean, that's pretty great. So walk us through. You joined. I looked it up. You joined in January of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
You joined in January of 2021. So you've been here just under 2 years, right, Mike? Yeah.
Yes.
Bad at math.
Yes.
That sounds right.
So walk me through that first year that you signed up.
The first year, I think I went into it with maybe a little too much confidence because we had just come off of a year where it was hard not to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I could buy anything and follow it up for the end of the day and then sell it and make money. And it got so easy that I began to fool myself and thinking I was really getting good at this. And then the following year, I didn't have as much success. It seemed like I was chasing, I was over trading, I didn't control my risk. I didn't, I was greedy. I broke all the rules. And eventually I would go back, I would reread, I would review the videos again. I would just take my time, slow it down, trade less, learn more. And eventually it started turning the corner. And once I started turning the corner, I could see these are the things that work for me. And quite honestly, I've got a little bit of a system now that I feel it works for me. It's not for everybody. But I've got a lump sum that's in my account, and I will never risk that lump sum. I invest it, but I don't risk it. And the way I do that is I have a max loss, and that max loss may be $100. It may be $100 that I've picked up mowing lawns around the neighborhood, or a couple $100. So I'll set up my trade to where, okay, I know what my max loss is going to be, and I use that to back into what my position size should be, so that if the stop loss triggers, I'm not going to lose more than that $100. And so once in a while, the stop loss will trigger, as you all know. Other times it may not, and it just starts working its way up. I start taking profits on the way up, and then by the end of the day, I look at it and say, well, that was $100 very well spent. And I didn't actually risk my lump sum. I invested it, but I didn't risk it because I had the stop loss in place. And I think that's probably the biggest lesson I've learned through TTG is how to control risk. And I learned early on, if I end up with baggies, and Lord knows I had baggies, I finally just dumped them. I just said, I got to get rid of these and get them off my plate completely. And once I did that and just started simply day trading, or once in a while hold overnight, but managing the risk, managing my position size, understand, where the stop losses should be, where the take profits should be. And those are all things that I learned here on TTG. And it's helped immensely.
That is awesome. So, one of the things that Mike and I have been talking about, or really Mike's been talking about on here, is that this is kind of an unprecedented time, right? What we mean by that is, you had told me on the phone, I don't know if you just said it now, but you had told me on the phone that you are retired, right?
Correct.
And that you literally participate in odd and end jobs to get money for your trading.
Exactly.
I was just going to say that is, literally what we have been talking about, that even, if you're retired, you're unemployed, you don't have the money you necessarily want at that time, that in today's day and age, there's ample opportunity to get extra income in order to participate with.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what I do. I live in a small beach community now, and a lot of people come in for the weekends, but they don't like to be here during the week, so they don't do their own maintenance. So I see them out in the yard, I just go up to them and talk to them and say, hey, how much to mow your lawn? Or how much to paint this, or power spray your deck, or whatever they need done. And that's where I get my trading money. I accumulate that. And then that's my trading money. And whatever I have, I'm not going to have my max loss be more than that amount of money. And then that way I won't ever dip into my investment account, so to speak. So the max loss for me is I happen to help out a neighbor, and maybe I lost the money that I got paid to do it. So that's my risk.
So let me get this straight. Do you mind if I say your age on here?
No, go ahead.
All right. So let me get this straight. You're a 67-year-old man.
Correct.
You obviously, and what did you do before you retired?
I worked in supply chain management, and I was actually at a fairly high level of management within my organization. So So I had a little money to work with. I had
Yeah.
401k money and that kind of thing. So I had a little bit to work with.
You know, the point that I was trying to make with it wasn't about that you had the money to work with, was the fact that you had worked an entire lifetime of a career. And yet after you retire, you are not above going out and saying, hey, I'll mow your lawn. I'll help you with this maintenance. I'll do what I got to do to make a couple extra $100 so that I can try and make some extra income over here. That's a very I mean, people aren't like that anymore.
I learned as a kid, if I wanted to make money, I had to pick up a lawnmower or do something. Snow shovel, it took something. But a lawnmower was the easy way to go. And down here in this community, I just basically did the same thing. But then it started ramping up to the point where people would tell me, hey, can you fix this for me? Are you any good with hot water heaters? Are you good with anything else? And it's like, I might be able to fix it, but I would rather sit in front of my computer and trade during the day, and I'll work on that stuff in the afternoon, after the market's closed. So no, I'm not proud at all in terms of, if I need to have some money to invest, I'll just go out and earn it. And it's really not that hard to pick up a few $100 here and there.
And that can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hang on, let me see who it is. Hello. Oh, I think it's on your end. There's a little bit of an echo, but it's fine. We're good.
Okay.
What I was gonna say is that and that's what I say to some people sometimes, and sometimes I get vilified for it. Is someone will say, well, I don't even have a couple $100, and to me that blows my mind, because I'm like, I don't know. I was the same way. I grew up super poor. If I wanted money, I had to go wash. For me, it was washing cars.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to go out and you got to do what you got to do to make a couple extra bucks so that you can get the things that you want to get.
Exactly.
And it didn't matter if I was working full time or not. If I knew how to get what I needed to get, so I could get myself ahead of the game.
Well, I think
you just don't see that type of stuff anymore. It's a very rare quality that you possess, especially after, you're 60. I'm substantially younger, have far less life experience, and somebody that is that, somebody that's older than me, that's retired and worked a career for to be able to say, I'll mow that lawn. I mean, I respect the hell out of that.
Well, I thank you for that. But I'll tell you also, I've worked my entire career where I've had to kind of deal with corporate stress. I've had to deal with some of the things that everybody in the corporate world has to deal with. But now I can sit back and I do it on my terms. And if somebody wants to complain about the way I did something for them, I just won't work for them again. It's no big deal. And so I can work as much or as little as I want to, but some days I'll be having a really good trading day and I'll stay here until the markets close. And then I'm not going to do anything the rest of the day. Other times I'll get in here and by 9 o'clock in the morning, it's not looking like a great day. And I'll go out and see if I can scare up some work. And it's amazing what just getting to know your neighbors can do for you. People will ask me can I run to Home Depot and pick them up some lumber? Or can I power wash their driveway or their deck? I do things like that all day long. And I'm able to set my own schedule. I'm able to work with the people that I enjoy working with. And then I'm able to take the money that I earn and do the training with TTG. I put that into my investment account, and then that's going to be my max loss. So I just back into my position size based on how much money I'm willing to lose that day. And most of the time, what I'm finding is currently I'm running probably about 70-75%. And so it's definitely paying off. But I didn't get into TTG to try to make a lot of money. I got it for the education. I got it for the opportunity to learn how to make money. And I immediately got interested in the lifetime because I figure, well, I'm probably going to trade stocks for the rest of my life. So why would I not join this group for the rest of my life and know that I've always got a team that I can turn to? I sit here and today was a quiet day. I don't think Gio traded at all today. I think Jennifer may have just a little bit, but I'll still read the comments. I'll still look at their charts. I'm looking at the things that they're seeing. And then once in a while, something will just wake me up. And today it happened to be Sava. And I know a lot of people weren't investing in it, but I saw a few things and I thought, okay, there's a chance to make some money. And I ended up with a nice green day out of it.
Hell yeah.
So, it all comes, I think so much of this is just to have a team that you feel like somebody's got your back. And if I'm not seeing anything, I've got a lot of other people that are looking at the markets too. And if they see something, they'll usually type it into chat. Or if it's one of the mods, I'll see what they're looking at. And sometimes I'll get interested and other times I don't get interested. It's not about following what other people do. It's about learning what other people do so that I can do something similar.
That's amazing. And I asked you this a little bit earlier, and I said, be honest. If it, one of the first things I said to you, you tell me true or false. I said to you, I said, when you come on, you don't need to sell True Trading Group, just share your experience with it. And I said, please be honest about this next part. That lifetime membership, in your opinion, has that helped?
Oh, it's helped. It's helped absolutely tremendously. Number one, I've got a library of resources that I will never run out of things to study. That's number one. I can go back, I can watch the red to green workshops. I travel a lot. I'll drive back and forth because I moved from the Midwest down to where I live now. And I'll get in the car and it's a 24-hour drive for me. And I'll just listen to Simmons all day long, or I'll listen to Toner and some of his workshops that he's done. So I listen a lot. And with a lifetime membership, I will never lose that. Then same thing with listening to Mike on his live streams. We'll learn a lot. You talk about golden nuggets. There's a lot of little nuggets there. A lot of things that I've learned that are just little things that have made a big difference for me. But then in the morning, I start my day by listening to Simmons, and I get the computer all booted up. I'm looking at what everybody else is looking at. And some days it's a good opportunity, and other days it's not so much of an opportunity. So I just, each day is a different day, and it is challenging times right now. But, if you look hard enough, there's usually something you can find that I can make a little bit of money. And more times than not, I'm getting to the point where I am making the money. And when I do lose, it's a very tight stop loss, and I don't risk very much.
Yeah. No, that and man, I appreciate you saying that. And I love the fact that, you're talking about how risk is part of it, losing's part of it, being consistent, losing less, but overall being consistent. And, and it's not about, getting, plumb rich, overnight. It's about building consistency and being able to make enough to support yourself and your family and cover your bills and that stuff. That's what this is about. All that Lambos, mansions, and private jets BS is just that. It's BS.
No, I would definitely agree with that. And my goal is, I've tried to set goals before, and I've tried to set daily goals, and that doesn't really make sense because there's going to be a lot of days you don't make money at all. There's going to be, some people like to set weekly goals. My goal is, I want to see my account grow. That's what I want to see. I want to see my account grow. And as it starts growing, then I start thinking, man, I sure would like to crack another 1,000 in there. And once in a while, you'll have those days where you do it. And then before you know it, you look at it and you realize, you know what, in the last few months, this thing has really grown. And that's how I measure my success. I don't set a goal that says, oh, I have to make $200 a day or it's a failure, or I have to make $50 or $500, whatever it is. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as, I want to make some winning trades throughout the day. And if I don't, then I'll do it again tomorrow, but I might adjust my position size in until I get a little confidence back, because it's hard not to trade with emotions, especially when you're down a little bit. It's hard not to double up your positions when you're having a great day, but you have to stay consistent and maintain that discipline. And I have found, and again, I credit you guys, that consistency comes from my discipline.
That is awesome. Well, brother, man, I really appreciate you sharing that with everyone. I think that is, really, really important for people to hear. And I also think it's great that you're having one of the better years that you've had this year. We talked about that earlier as well. Like last year, you could throw a dart. You could put 1,000 stocks on the board, throw a dart, and chances are, that was going to go up.
Exactly.
This year, it's not like that. And Mike says it all the time. Our members are having some of the best years they've ever had. And I think a lot of people don't believe that. Like, how could
Right.
they be having the best years they've ever had? It's very simple. They are forced. And correct me if I'm wrong. I'll let you answer it as well. But they are forced to practice proper. They're forced to take the education and then put it into effect instead of just relying on getting lucky or being lax. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think that's a very true statement, and I had a couple of years that really were good years for me, and I started believing that I was that good, and I wasn't that good. I was just that lucky. And now I'm getting to the point that I would call myself a good trader at this point. Certainly not on the caliber of the mods that you all have, or the Mike or anybody like that, but I am consistently making money and consistently growing my account. And to me, that's what I'm here for. And every now and then I do have some extra money that I can pull out and go buy something that I've been wanting. I've gotten into some hobbies down here, and they're kind of expensive hobbies. And so, now I have a way to pay for some of those. But I didn't get into this with the idea of I'm going to get rich. I got into it the idea that I want to learn as much as I can about the market. And that's another thing, is when you go to a cocktail party or whatever, just talking to the neighbors, and somebody happens to start talking about the economy or politics or whatever, I find that I'm a lot more informed because I am sitting here all day, every day, listening to what people are saying about the markets. And sometimes I'll have CNBC on, sometimes I don't. Because if it's important, Mike will usually come on and tell us what's going on CNBC anyway. But knowing what's going on in the market is a lot more powerful for me than to hearing somebody else talk about it, because they heard somebody else talk about it who heard somebody else talk about it. But the reality is they don't know what they're talking about. But when you sit here all day long and watch it, you begin to see the patterns.
Yeah, no, that's incredible, man. All right, well, dude, I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and I'm so sorry for making you wait.
Oh, not a big deal at all. I appreciate everything you guys do.
No worries, brother. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gabriel.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was, what a great guy, man. What a great guy. Just like old school, man. Just like, I just love that he's just got it so right mentally and psychologically, just to, have that resolve to just go in there. And I don't know. I just, we got a new member here that we've got to welcome, though. We got to welcome Jonathan. Guys, we got to welcome Jonathan. Jonathan's the newest member of the family, but we are now down to, that means just 8 of those laptops are now remaining, guys. Welcome Jonathan to the group. All right, Jonathan, and welcome to the family, guys. That means we're now down to just 8 of those laptops. You guys just have to go to ttgoffer.com, enter that coupon code TTG121. You'll get the 40% discount, drops the price to just $13.07. If you guys see the laptop in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. You got the double your money back guarantee. If you don't want the laptop, instead you'd rather have a cheaper price, just send a text message to 786-505-4049. We've only got 8 of those laptops left, but like I said, if you guys don't want one, and you'd rather just get a cheaper price, you can send a text message to that phone number right there at the bottom of your screen. Also, if you have any questions about the membership, you can send a text to that phone number. Or if you're a previous trial, or previous annual member, you also can send a text message to 786-505-4049, and we can get you guys taken care of and hooked up. All right, folks. Let me actually see here who is not a member of True Trading Group. Type the letters TTG real quick, guys. If you're not a member of True Trading Group, just type the letters TTG in chat real quick. I want to see who we have here that is not a member of the TTG family. So don't be shy. Just go ahead and type the letters TTG. All right, let's see. We've got Joe F. John Bianchi, what's up, man? Smooth Operator, Amy Livingston, Steve-O. Yes, have the letters TTG, guys. If you are not a member of the TTG fam, I'm going to try to get a feel for who we have here. Taints and Tears. Nice, guys. Okay, so we got a couple people here.
Why did you read that name out loud?
Jose Batista, Lexi. So we got some new faces here, guys. All right, beautiful. Guys, listen, for those of you that are typing TTG, I do want to make sure you guys are all well aware, okay, about the deal that you guys have here today before the price jumps to $13.50. You guys could have grabbed this membership. It continues to climb. So you guys could have grabbed this membership for less than $1,200 just a couple days ago. Now it's $13.07. It's going to be $13.50 here tomorrow. But if you guys don't want the laptop, you'd rather have a cheaper price, you can send a text message to 786-505-4049, and we can get you guys taken care of and hooked up. If you do want the laptop, you go to ttgoffer.com. As long as you see the laptop in the checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. You just enter the code TTG121, click apply code, you're good to go. You don't have to enter your address to get the free laptop. Rather, you'll get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that free laptop after you guys join the TTG family. Remember, it's all included, all of our courses and all of our tools. You're going to get access to the courses are a simplified version of what I learned that I worked at the fund in New York. You also get access to premium investing and trading tools from today's top fintech companies that would cost you over $5,000 a year if you paid for them on your own, like Benzinga's real-time news feed, TradingView's premium charting software, Quote Media's full book level 2, unusual options activity and options flow from CBOE, dark pool data from Polygon, the Trade Idea Scanner, ETNA's simulator that lets you trade stocks and options with fake money so you can practice implementing what you're learning in the courses, about 300 hours of workshops and webinars covering a bunch of different lessons and topics. We do all of our trade alerts from swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, futures, crypto, you name it, we trade it, a trading journal, social sentiment scanners, analyst ratings. It's all included for that $13.07 price point. Or like I said, if you guys don't want the laptop, you send a text to the number that's at the bottom of your screen if you guys would like a cheaper price instead of the laptop. And of course, you're going to join the near 10,000 members of the TTG community that generally give a damn whether you succeed or fail, folks. Results matter at True Trading Group, and it's your results that actually matter. And that's why that double your money back guarantee is there. Nobody else's results matter because nobody else's results pay your bills. So that's why we say if you don't make back your membership fee at least once, okay, that's the $1,307. If you do not make that back at least once during your membership, I'm going to give you guys back $2,614. That is double what you are going to pay to join the family. You just have to go through our courses, pass our quizzes, attend the study group, and I'll give you guys back $2,614 if you fail to make back that membership fee at least once during your membership. You have the whole year to do it. I'm not saying you got to do all this within 30 days or 14 days. You have literally the entire year to go through that and see if you guys don't make it back. The double your money back guarantee is there. Again, I don't think you're going to need it, but it's there for peace of mind. We've only had to refund about 2.6% of our users since 2016. And don't forget, we got a 78% retention rate. And that's why I'm so confident in offering you the double your money back guarantee. All right, folks. So again, guys, ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. You don't have to enter your address when you join. You'll get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that free laptop after you guys already join. We cover the shipping on planet Earth. We're going to get you a free laptop. I can't even see what's on the screen. So I'm not sure if it's... No, I really don't. For me, it's all right, guys. We got our code word here. Okay. We got our code word here. This is code word number 2. This is code word number 2, guys. All right. Now, if you're not a member, don't worry about this code word. All right, do not worry about this code word. If you are not a member, this is for a giveaway that we do with our members, guys. This is code word number 2. And it's right up there on the screen. Taints and tears. So there's your code word number 2, guys. It will count as one word. This counts as one word. Okay, I know it's multiple words, but this counts as one word. Okay, this counts as one word. All right, so this is for TTG members only. All right, guys. Cool, cool, cool. 8 of those laptops remain. All right, guys, let's take things on over. Let's go back over to the charts. What I want to cover with you guys here today, lessons for this live stream is really going to be about hedging. That's something that I really want to talk to you guys about here today, because that's the kind of the trading strategy that I use today. And I want to go over it with you, because I came into the day today, saying to myself where, we had this little bit of a bounce on Friday, right? We kind of had this little bounce on Friday going into the close. We opened up here today, and then we got over a pretty key resistance level. There were 2 resistance levels that I was watching here on the SPY. The first was 369. Okay, the first was 369. The second was 370.50. Okay, so these are the 2 levels that I was really watching today, because I said to myself, if we can get over 370.50, I think that the SPY has a nice chance of giving you a little bit of a bounce. I think the markets are oversold right now. I think they're due for a little bit of a bounce back, like another little bear market rally. 369 was this resistance level on Friday before you experienced the big heavy sell-off. And then it's 370.50 is Friday's high of the day, which is the gap entry. So you remember I had that big gap down on Friday. And I'm looking at these 3 levels where I said if we get over 369, then you got 370.50, and then you got a shot to 374, 373.50. And I thought that if we got through these levels today, that we can see a little bit of a bounce and get ourselves up to this 374 area that you guys see drawn on my screen. So what I did here today was I got long SPY call options right there. Okay, so right here is where I jumped in SPY call options. It was a 370 strike Friday expiration call, around $5.13 a contract. We broke through 369. We got all the way up in front of that 370.50, which is the resistance level from Friday's high of the day. It's also the gap entry point. That was the key level that needed to break in order for me to get the follow through. So I took 25% of my position off the table once we got up to 370.50, because that was the first profit target. And that was really the level we had to break through in order for me to get the follow through and then really start peeling profit off of the table. We didn't quite break through that Friday's high and that gap entry point. So at this point now, you start to get this little bit of a pullback, and I'm saying to myself, okay, well, listen, I know that I'm kind of fighting the trend here. The market's been moving to the downside for the last couple of days. I think we're going to get a bounce here, middle to end of this week. I still do feel that way. But today was not the day. Today was not the day. We ended up rolling back over and going all the way back down towards testing Friday's low, and then we kind of held Friday's low. So what I did, knowing that I'm exposed now to the upside on the overall markets, I said to myself, well, if we can't get through Friday's high, then the markets probably then just roll themselves back over. And I want to be short something in case that's the fact, so that if we do roll over, which is what ended up happening, I could exit my position, which is exactly what I did right here. Okay, so again, you'll see there's the entry. There was 25% of my position coming off the table. Okay, and then here's where I decide to exit the rest of that position. Okay, so there's the entry, 25% of my position for profit, 75% of my position for a loss, which ended up being a net negative trade. So I did lose money on this trade. However, I went and I took a look at Meta, and Meta has been one of the weakest stocks in the entire market. And at the time that the SPY began to pull back slightly, you had Meta end up break through your early morning lows and actually make a brand new low of the day, while the overall markets were just sitting there trading sideways. So I said to myself, I came on the microphone at this moment. I'm talking to members. Like, okay, guys, listen up. I got 25% of my position off the table on the SPY calls. I locked in a little bit of profit, but I'm looking for more. But if the markets are unable to break through Friday's high and they pull back down and we go red, I'm going to get myself into a short position on one of the weakest stocks in the market, because if we do roll over, okay, if we do roll over, I think that you're going to be seeing Meta make fresh new lows on the year, which is exactly what you've seen. It's been one of the weakest stocks out there. So what I did was I stepped in at this moment right here and I shorted Meta. Okay, so I stepped in here, I shorted Meta, and whenever I trade a large cap, like I actually shorted shares of Meta, but whenever I trade a large cap, I will alert you to an option contract. If you guys want to follow me in on a particular trade, if you don't have the capital to trade a $140 stock, don't worry about it. I always alert you guys to an option contract to trade with me. And for this, I give you guys a September 30th, $140 strike put option. At the time of that alert, the options were around $3.40, $3.60, somewhere in that like 20-25 cent window, depending on where you decided to enter that trade or when you got filled. But that's when I went ahead and I entered that trade short. And then sure enough, we relied on the relative weakness from Meta over the last couple of weeks. And then you get this rollover back in the SPY, right? The SPY rolls over. I stop out of the SPY calls. And then I just lean on the Meta short and I start to just make back everything that I lost on the SPY calls. I make back everything I lost and then some by capitalizing on this move all the way to the downside. And my final take profit came off, okay, before the bell today. I left a little bit of money on the table. You see this, Meta trading all the way down at 136, but I decided I didn't want to hold overnight, and I got flat right there at 137. Okay, so I shorted this thing around 140 and like 20 cents. So just over 140 is where I went ahead and I got myself short. And then on my final take profit all the way down there at 137. Those put options, I think, went all the way to like $5.60. So you're talking about a nice solid like 50% gain on the Meta put options for those people that were following me on the Meta short. Asif, welcome to the TTG family. Now that means we are down to just 7 of those laptops, guys. Welcome, Asif, newest member of the TTG family. Guys, remember, all you got to do is go to ttgoffer.com. You enter the code TTG121. You click apply code. The price drops to $13.07. That's a 40% discount. As long as you see the laptop on your checkout cart, you know you're getting one. You don't have to enter your address. Like I said, you'll get a welcome email when you join with instructions how to claim the free laptop. If you do not want the free laptop, instead you'd rather have a cheaper price, send a text message right now to 786-505-4049. Again, 786-505-4049. That phone number, bang, right there at the bottom of your screen. All right, guys. So there you have the meta trade, and kind of the lesson to take from this again, guys. Again, this is a hedging strategy, okay? Where if I'm going to say to myself, I'm going to be essentially what a hedge is you're taking a position in opposite directions. So you'll be long something and you'll be short something else. So what I like to do is if I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, well, if I think the market's going to bounce higher, I'm going to get calls on the market or on the SPY. But if I'm wrong on that, let me go ahead and short something that is very, very weak. And if I short something that's very weak, what ends up happening is if I'm right and the SPY does move higher, Meta is one of the weakest stocks in the entire market. So the move that Meta is going to make to the upside is going to be relatively small in comparison to the move that the market's going to make because it's relatively weak. So I'm not expecting Meta to just rip face and explode, 8 points to the upside. It's one of the weakest stocks in the entire market. So that's the whole concept. Meanwhile, if I'm wrong on the SPY trade and the SPY goes down, Meta is one of the weakest stocks in the entire market. So it should actually move to the downside at a faster, more deeper pace than something else that's not as weak. It's like Meta compared to Apple today, right? Completely different. Apples and oranges, for no pun intended. I know I'm talking about Apple, but it's literally apples and oranges. Because if you take a look at Apple, right? Apple did not go down. You can see Apple held up strong as all hell. The thing never even went red today. We were just green for the entire day. So Apple really held up there while the overall markets were starting to sell off, and the overall markets were well deep into the red. So if I'm going to be long something like this, like SPY options, right? If I'm long SPY options, you do not want to then be short a strong name. You want to be short the weak name. Because again, if the SPY does move higher, and I'm right on that, you don't want to be short on a hedge on a strong stock that's going to be relatively strong in comparison to the direction of the trade that you're trying to go after. Because that's how Apple would be a stock that's going to make a $2-3 rip to the upside if the SPY starts to climb. And then you're just going to be losing the money on the hedge that you're making to the upside because that stock's going to be relatively strong. You want to go ahead and short a weak stock. That's going to be the opposite. And the opposite would be true if you were trying to be short the market. If you thought the market's going to go down today and you wanted to hedge that trade, you buy put options on the SPY. But you say to yourself, if I'm wrong about this, though, and the SPY starts to move higher, I'm going to hedge that trade with a long position in a stock that is relatively strong. So this way, if the SPY does bounce, you're going to look for what are the stocks that have been relatively strong. It's Apple, it's Tesla. These are some of the stronger stocks that have been out there in the market. Tesla specifically, Apple specifically, two of the strongest stocks out there today. So you want to look at something like that and say, okay, well, if I'm going to be short the market, I'm going to be long Tesla, I'm going to be long Apple. What you're not going to want to do is say, I'm going to be short the market, and as a hedge, I'm going to go long Meta. Meta's relatively weak. So your hedge needs to be the complete polar opposite of the direction in the trade that you're trying to hedge against. And that's why I went after the Meta short, because Meta is the relatively weak stock. And it worked out beautifully. It worked out absolutely perfectly. And it was an excellent lesson today for members inside of the TTG chat. Congratulations, everybody that capitalized on that Meta trade. It was an absolute thing of beauty. I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys have a better understanding and a better grasp now on how to hedge positions and using relative strength and relative weakness to take the opposite side of a trade in case you're wrong on direction of the overall market. And that's how you guys can hedge your trades and hedge your positions. And there's never been really a better time right now. I got to tell you, I've been really relying on relative strength and relative weakness for the last couple of weeks. I've been trading Tesla like crazy these last couple of weeks on the back of relative strength. And I've been shorting Meta. I've been doing this now for the last couple of weeks, and it's been working out perfectly. Now, eventually, that relative weakness and relative strength will change. You're not going to have a stock that's going to be relatively strong or relatively weak forever. Eventually, Meta will stop being relatively weak. Eventually, Tesla will stop being relatively strong. And it's your job as a trader to identify when that relative weakness or strength has decoupled or it's broken or it's no longer relevant, so you can stop going ahead and try to force that trade. But it's there. It's been there for the last couple of weeks, and I've been using it to my advantage perfectly. All right. So congratulations, guys, on the Meta trade. All right, congratulations on the Meta trade. I hope that helps. I really do. I hope that helps, I got a lot of questions from people today about this, when I did go after this hedge, and it really just worked out beautifully. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit more in-depth lesson and knowledge about my thought process and why it is that I did what I did. Why did I go after Meta specifically? Now you guys understand, and hopefully you can use this to your advantage as early as tomorrow if you guys decide to go after a trade that you feel that you would be better off hedging. And that's what I did today. And hopefully you guys are now prepared to do that tomorrow. Cool? Excellent. Golden nuggets rain down upon you on another TTG live stream. Hope you guys found that helpful. What I'll do here now is I'll open things up for a blanket open floor Q&A session. Does anybody have any questions about what I talked about here today? If there's anything that's on your mind, go ahead, sound off in chat. Don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. Remember, guys, asking questions is how you learn. So go ahead right now. If you guys have questions, you can start typing them in the chat, and I'll pull up a couple, or Adam will pull up a couple, throw them up onto the screen, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have. Yep, my pleasure. My pleasure, Busy Bee. Don't be shy, folks. Type away. Throw those questions out there. Remember, asking questions is how you learn. anything about maybe the hedging lesson, anything about the markets, about an individual stock, whatever it is that you guys are curious about, just type them in chat right now. We'll throw them up on the screen. The time to buy for a long-term hold. Corey Gold, I think it's a good place to start. I added in my long-term portfolio on June 17th when we were down here at this level. So some of the stocks that I bought on June 17th, most of them are still considerably higher than the June 17th entry. There's a couple that are right back around the same prices that I bought on June 17th, but most of them are already significantly higher than where they were on the day that I bought them on June 17th. I think that, the S&P, I'll tell you guys this, whenever, this is an absolute rule that I have for myself. I don't care what the reason is. If the S&P 500 is ever down more than 20% in 1 year, I have to buy something. There's not many times that you get the S&P down more than 20% in a single year. Again, I don't care what the reasoning is, but I'll always buy something. And that's a rule that I've had for myself forever. I'm going to continue to do that forever. And I've already done that earlier this year when the last time we were down at 3,600 on June 17th, I added in the long-term portfolio. I still have some cash on the sidelines. I'm not fully invested here. I think that it's fully possible that if the Fed does not revise their Fed funds target rate to the downside before the year is over, I think it's possible that you break those June lows and then maybe get a little bit more downside. I'd be looking for like that 3,500 zone, and that's going to be a really nice spot where I'm going to be looking to add more. I don't think you guys should ever try to pick the exact bottom. You ask any professional on Wall Street, you ask any money manager, any hedge fund manager, anyone that does this for a living, you ask them if they think that you should wait until the absolute bottom. If you think the bottom is 3,200 on the S&P, or call it 320 on the SPY, if they think you should just wait until you get to 320 to just buy something for the first time, not one professional is going to tell you to do that, because in case that's not the bottom and the bottom is actually, let's say, 340, 335, and you wait until it gets to 320 and it never does, well, then guess what? The markets are back to 4,500 and you're left there with buy orders down at 32, 320, 3,200, and you never actually get any money into the markets. So I like to dollar cost average myself in my long-term portfolio stuff as the markets decline. Rather than trying to wait to pinpoint the exact bottom. I'd rather just identify areas and zones that I want to be a buyer. And when stocks and markets roll down into those zones, I buy. And that's what I've been doing for a while. And I've already added in this exact price zone a few months ago. So if you did not, then, my advice, I put my own money where my mouth is when I say this stuff. And I bought here last time that we got down here. I think it's a good place to start. If you guys haven't bought anything yet, down 23% on the S&P, 24%, I think it's a great place. The worst year in S&P history is 38% down, and that was 2008. You're already down about 23% here, and you're finishing up, September, which is historically the weakest month of the entire year, and we're still sitting right at these June lows. So I'm looking to actually buy a couple more things in my long-term portfolio here, probably over the next couple of days. I probably could have bought some stuff today, but maybe tomorrow I might grab a couple of things. But I think it's a good place for you to start. Yeah, just my opinion. Next question. Mike, do you see Amazon going to 100 again? I don't know. That's a tough one. I got Amazon in front of 100. I actually added Amazon in my long-term portfolio, like right here, I think it was, like really down here in front of this $100 level. I think it's such a beautiful area to be a buyer of Amazon. Do I think we get back to 100? I think it's possible. It is relatively strong compared to the rest of the NASDAQ and compared to the rest of the S&P. So maybe you can get down there back underneath 110. Do you get all the way down to 100 or 101, which is the low of the year? I'm not quite sure you get all the way down to 101, but you don't have, listen, you got to look at it this way. If you believe that Amazon is going to go back to $190, okay, in the next 3 years, does it really matter if you bought it at 111 or at 103? No, it doesn't. So I already added to Amazon earlier this year in the middle of May. I think it was like May 10th, I believe, was the actual day that I added to Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. Up on that position, not huge, but up on that position still. And I will be adding more Amazon. I actually do like Amazon to actually give you some of the better percentage returns over the next 3 years out of all your mega cap tech names. I actually think that Amazon is better positioned to provide you with a higher ROI over the next 3 years than, let's say, an Alphabet, a Microsoft, or even an Apple. I think that the AWS side of Amazon, their cloud side of their business is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. And I said to you earlier that I think that some of the unicorns of over the next 10 years is going to be in that cloud computing space, and kind of like cloud services and that type of stuff. So I like Amazon, and I own it. I bought more in May. I'm going to buy more also again. Thoughts on weekly moving average 200 as huge support sitting around 357. Trader AJC, I absolutely love the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart for the SPY. That's where I'm going to take a big I'm taking a big bite. This 200-day moving average, okay, this 200-day moving average on a weekly chart of the SPY, I think is such a great area for us to get a bounce. If I was to draw a line across this area right here, guys, let's do this real quick. All right. So see, I'm going to draw a line across this area. It's like the mid 350s. And I'm going to draw a line. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. What you'll notice is as you go back to the left, this was a previous high back there in 2020. And it was a multi-top high where we actually topped out at this level for a couple of different weeks. And then we gapped above it. And then what you start to see happen is that level that was resistance all of a sudden starts acting as support for not one, not two, but three, but 4 consecutive trading weeks. We held above that level after double topping at it for 1, 2, 3 different weeks. Now you're pulling back into that zone. And this yellow line is your 200-day moving average on the weekly chart for the SPY. And as I pan this out, if you take away the outlier is when we pierced the 200-day moving average during the COVID crash. All right. You see, we pierced it very briefly for just like 3 weeks down here. You see that we pierced that 200-day moving average, then regained it quickly. But as I pan this back and you look at this 200-day moving average on a weekly chart, my goodness, is this a massive level of support or what? I mean, just look at the way that 200-day moving average has stuck support in 2016 when we had another like kind of a little recession scare in 2016. You had the big sell-off in 2018 when the Fed started raising rates and did quantitative tightening. Okay, and you also had the China-US trade wars during that time. You had that big sell-off in 2018. That held to the penny. 2016 held basically to the penny. You violated it during the COVID crash. And now here we are again coming back to retest this level. So that's a key level of support in my eyes. And I think that if you get, and this is kind of what I was hoping you got today, but we didn't. I was hoping that we would gap down today 2 fresh new lows under that June low. Because if you gap down under that low today, I thought it would have been a surefire way just to buy that that gap down. Like if you gap down today, let's say to 361 and you're under the 362 June low, you probably have a morning flush to like 358, get down and tap that 200-day weekly moving average. And then all of a sudden 260, 261, regain 262. And then you get a nice multi-day bounce if that's the case. I'm telling you guys this now. If you break that June low of 362 on the SPY and you get into the mid to high 350s the same day, and then you end the day, let's say you trade down to 358, 359, and then later in the afternoon, you're back at 363, 364. That, in my opinion, is an absolute swing trade long call options. Hold them for maybe 2 days and get upside for the next 2 days as you get a beautiful bounce after a test and hold of that 200-day moving average on the weekly chart. So that is absolutely a level that I'm looking at, not just for an area to add in my long-term portfolio, but it's also a trade setup that I'm looking for an active swing trade. If I see that setup come to fruition here literally this week, it's something I'm watching very closely. Trader AJC, great question. Hope that helps. In shorting short-term pumps, how do you predict the top? I just like to rely on my resistance levels when you're in a bear market like this. It's just like in bull markets, they say you buy the dip, you wait for pullbacks into support. Same thing on these bear market rallies. When you get these pumps to the upside, you identify your key levels of resistance and identify your key levels. Don't really go after the insignificant levels. The longer the time frame that level is available or is visible on, typically the more significant the level. If you see a resistance level only on the 3-minute chart, not as significant if you see a resistance level on the 15-minute. If you see a resistance level on the 5-minute, but you don't see it on the daily, then not going to be as significant of a level. So a level you see on the daily is more significant than just a level you see by itself on a 5-minute. So the longer the time frame, the more significant that level is going to be. And I would just wait out these bounces, in these bear market rallies. And if something did not change fundamentally, if it's just a technical rally, it probably only lasts a couple of days. But if something changes fundamentally, you got to be careful trying to be stubborn shorting bear market rallies, because you can really get your ass run over, just like you saw in July and August. You had a 17% rally off of the June low. So if you're just going to be stubborn and you're continuing to short that, you're going to get run over and you get your head taken off. So if something changes fundamentally, what does that mean? What would be an example of something that changes fundamentally? Well, let's say that the inflation number for September, which comes out in a couple of weeks, what happens if that number comes out at 7.1 after being 8.3 last month? Well, that's something that changes fundamentally. And then that's going to be something that could give you more than just a 3-day bounce or a 4-day technical bounce, because a technical bounce can get you just a couple of days. But if you're going to have any meaningful bounce in the bear market, in my opinion, there's got to be some type of fundamental catalyst that causes that bit of a move. Another catalyst would be like, maybe something happens with Russia, Ukraine, and there comes to some type of a ceasefire. That would be a fundamental change that would make markets move to the upside. If Jerome Powell comes out with a different type of statement and says, you know what, maybe we don't have to go to 4.6% next year. I'm actually going to move my target back to 4.4, 4.25. That's a fundamental change, and that's a catalyst that can give you more than just a bear market rally, and that can give you a meaningful rally. So you got to be careful what's the reasoning on the bounce. Okay, if it's just purely technical, like the example I just gave you about the 200-day moving average on the weekly chart, that's an example of a straight technical bounce. I would expect upside there for a couple of days. But if you get a fundamental catalyst that changes, like a CPI data number, that's where you can get multiple weeks of upside. Pablo, are you a member? Mike, please provide US few tech stocks for long-term, please, besides AMD, Qualcomm, NVIDIA, and Snowflake. Are you a member, Pablo? Yes. A couple tech stocks other than those. I also really like Datadog. I really like Palo Alto. Or a couple others that I really like. I like Broadcom, that's AVGO. I like CrowdStrike. I like Salesforce. I'm starting to like PayPal, honestly, at this price and at this valuation. I'm starting to like PayPal. So, there's a handful of tech names out there that I think are starting to look pretty enticing at these valuations. Some of them are still expensive, but others are starting to get pretty attractive, if you ask me. Next question, folks. Palo Alto, the ticker symbol is PANW. Cybersecurity name. I'm big on cybersecurity. I'm very bullish on the cybersecurity space, and Palo Alto is one of the best in breed. CrowdStrike is also pretty good. No problem. Anybody else? No more questions? Guys, here, I got a question for you. Who's not a member of True Trading Group? I just want to see one more time. I want to see how many people on the live stream that are not members. Just type the letters TTG in chat right now. If you guys are not members of the True Trading Group family, just type the letters TTG. If you are not a member of the True Trading Group family, again, type the letters TTG. If you are not a member of the TTG family. Just want to see who we have here, guys, that's not a member. Don't be shy. I want to see here. We got Jose Batista, not a member. Yep, my pleasure. Joe F. Ellie. If you guys are not members, just type TTG. Blinky. All right, guys. What I am going to do here now, all right, for those of you that are, if you guys are not interested in a membership to the TTG platform, you guys can, I'm finished with the educational stuff of the live stream. So if you're not interested in a membership at all, you guys can actually just sign off the live stream, but make sure you subscribe to the channel first. Make sure you smash the like button, turn on notifications. You guys don't ever want to miss out on these lives. I do them 6 days a week. If you are interested in a membership, I'm going to show you the actual platform. You guys can see for yourself everything that you get included with your membership when you guys join. It's all included when you pay that $13.07. Or again, if you guys don't want the laptop, you want a cheaper price, you can send a text message to the phone number that's at the bottom of your screen, and we can get you guys hooked up with a different price if you guys don't want the laptop, all right? Because we only have a couple of them left. You're going to get our chat room, of course, all right? Our chat room is where the mods and I share our screen. We're live on the mic, calling out our trades in real time. We're with you from 7:30 a.m. Eastern every day up until the market closes. All day. We're not just gone after 2 hours and you guys are left to fend for yourself. You're also going to use the mobile app that lets you be connected to chat even if you're not in front of your computer. That's how so many of our members are able to benefit while working full-time jobs, because you're going to get those real-time push notifications whenever a moderator enters or exits a trade. And you are also going to be able to listen to the audio commentary and see the screen share from your mobile device if you're not in front of your computer. Don't sweat it. You're going to get 2 private study groups with one of our pro traders. You can ask questions and speed up your learning curve. You get the Benzinga Pro newsfeed, which is going to cost you over $1,000 a year on its own. If you went to Benzinga directly, you guys have it included free with your membership to True Trading Group when you pay the $13.07. You also get Trading Views premium charts. That's about $600 a year, free with your membership again when you guys join. The Trade Ideas Scanner, another few $100 a year. Make sure you always focus on the hottest stocks during the day. It streams live on our platform each and every day. ETNA's Simulator, which will let you trade stocks and options with fake money so you can practice implementing what you're learning in the courses. That'll cost you just under $1,000 a year. It's free with your membership when you join True Trading Group. This is what I'm talking about. All these tools are going to cost you like $5,000 if you went to the companies directly. All of them are included free with your platform when you guys join. We have our own proprietary scanner, which lets you create custom scans. You also have dark pool data, unusual options activity with options flow. That's stuff that used to only be available to professionals. Now it's at your fingertips. You got a trading journal that tracks all your trading and gives you statistics. You can see what you're doing wrong and you know what you need to improve on. A social sentiment scanner that will actually go through Reddit, StockTwits, and Twitter and tell you which ticker symbols are being mentioned most on the platform so you can stay ahead of the crowd. Analyst ratings on any stock you're interested in, so you can see exactly how many analysts have a buy, sell, or hold rating. Insider buying, insider selling, short data, you name it, we've got it all included when you guys join the TTG platform. Every day, the mods publish a watch list with a game plan on the stocks we're looking at and how we intend on trading them. You get that every single morning. And then, of course, the courses. The courses are a simplified but expanded upon version of what I learned that I worked at the firm in New York. There are no VIP courses that cost more money after you join. You get access to every single course. Our beginner courses, advanced courses, okay, options, swing trading, trader psychology, crypto, you name it, we've got it all included when you guys join TTG. There are no upsells for those courses. There's also on top of the courses a video library that has 300 hours of additional educational video content. Like these are workshops, like how to grow a small account, how to trade working a full-time job, how to resist FOMO, just to name a few. Okay. Guys, you can actually start attending these workshops live when you become a full-time member, or you can just go through the library and you can watch all the ones that we've done in the past. So I've got 300 hours of them. And we're constantly updating and adding to it. It's time you guys invested in something real, folks, something that can really help you guys reach your goals. Like I said, I can't guarantee that you're going to be successful just because you join True Trading Group. I can't, and I won't do that. But what I will guarantee is that if you go through our courses, you pass our quizzes, you attend one study group, and you never make the $1,307 back at least once, I'll give you double. I'll give you $2,614 in return if you don't make the $1,307 back at least once after doing those three things. I don't think you're going to need the double your money back guarantee again, because like I said, we've only had to refund 2.6% of our users since 2016, but it's there for peace of mind, and it's there to hold us accountable and to make sure that you guys, feel comfortable making the decisions that you're making. Anybody here, guys, how many people here are trial members? Actually, do me a favor, type the number 1 if you're a trial member of True Trading Group. If you have any current trial members, just go ahead and type the number 1 if you are currently a trial member of the TTG fam. I'm just curious to see how many trial members that we have here, because guys, don't forget, if you're a trial member or a previous trial or a previous member, and you guys want that 1307 price point, or if you want a cheaper price and you want to forego the laptop, you can send a text message. You have to send a text message to 786-505-4049. Again, 786-505-4049. If you want the laptop, fantastic. If you see one in your checkout cart, that's how you know you're getting one. You don't have to enter your address or get a welcome email with instructions on how to claim that free laptop. Again, just go to ttgoffer.com, TTG121 coupon code. And if you guys are still unsure, we do have a 7-day trial. You guys just literally go to TTGTHREE.com. That's TTG3 spelled out.com. It's our 7-day trial. It's a one-time payment of $3. That's it, $3. You've all got $3. Okay, it's a one-time payment of $3. You just got to go to TTGTHREE.com. No automatic renewal, no automatic upgrade. It's just a one-time payment of $3. You all have $3. You get a full 7 trading days, weekends, holidays. They do not count against your 7 days. So you can go to TTGTHREE.com and join us for that 7-day trial. Thanks for tuning in here tonight, folks. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, turn on your notifications. I will catch you guys all in chat tomorrow. Have a great